Almost Heaven, West Virginia. Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, eliminated to Belgium once again.
Aaron Judge is a better version of Brock Lesnar.
What is something you love as much as the Charmin Bears love wiping?
As an opposing fan, you could probably see his face and want to sock him between your cracks.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into a podcast featuring three players who can play goalkeeper better than Matt Freese can. I'm Splash, joined by Mac and Alex. Today we are breaking down the biggest and brightest in baseball news because our soccer team stinks. I'll talk about more of that at the end of the episode. Mac, how are you doing? Alex, how are you doing?
Splash, I need you to know, by the way, that if I had a red card, I'd be flashing it right now at you for that cold open.
Unfortunately, I have someone who might go by the numbers 4 and 7 who will help me out and get that red card suspended.
Or
I have an Uno card.
Uno reverse. I mean, you never know.
Can we do like what the sidemen did? Do either the Uno reverse or take the little mini paper shredder to the card and just watch it go
skip.
Yeah.
Skip.
That Monday night game was not my favorite experience.
Double and give it to the next person.
Oh man.
I was coaching when the game started, and before practice, one of my swimmers came up to me and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna want you to give a score updates once the game starts." I'm like, all right, fine. And then like before I could even in the middle of practice, we're probably like 15 minutes from the end of practice, and I get the notification like, "Oh boy, it's 1-0. Like this is gonna get bad, isn't it?" But yeah, other than that, I mean, had a good 4th of July weekend. Hope you guys all did. I see we have quite the crowd in here already. Hello, Ralph, XYZ Balling, and Double Bass. Good to see you all. Hope you guys also had a great holiday weekend. Had some good. My mom made a good pork dish that was really awesome. Pork braised in milk, and made a cake. I picked up some ice cream. We got to see the tall ships that rolled through the Hudson River. So that's basically how I spend my 4th of July.
Fair enough.
Alex?
Yeah, I had a good 4th of July weekend. Yeah, very athletic, I'll say. Friday, played another baseball game, did okay. But my defense has been getting better, which I'm very glad to hear. My offense has been solid still. I'm still batting 700 plus on the season. So it's pitch to contact. It's not that cool, but no.
I mean, that's still pretty good, man. You could say you batted 700. I mean, that's...
yeah, I could. I mean, this is absolutely true. It's funny because I'm one of the people that's almost always usually a near mid to late round pick for how we drafted, and yet I'm still called as. I would gladly take you up on that. As being quoted saying as I'm automatic. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but you still don't draft me like I'm automatic. Anyway, Saturday, 4th of July, had a golf tournament. I played badly, but it was fun. Then went and saw the Everett Aqua Sox play. That was another fun time. Everett actually won, so always fun to see. Got to see Johnny Farmello and Luke Stevenson, so good young Mariner prospects, as well as a fireworks show. And then the day after, had another baseball game where I did about the same. So, fun times there.
All right. I had a solid one. Usually we do some family activities, but we just had dinner at the steakhouse downstairs. So, all fun, all dandy. I think we're doing something maybe this weekend. So, I had a productive 4th, and then my baseball team decided to just rain on the parade the last couple days, but that is
same.
Neither here nor there. Fellas, we have a jam-packed show today. We have a pending retirement of one of the greatest pitchers of all time, a future Hall of Famer, a no-doubter in my opinion. We also have some all-star game selections and some snubs to get to. I will have some tight rules. If there's a snub, you gotta find a guy to knock off. We also have some home run derby announcements, and we have general shenanigans going on in the baseball world. Mac, what happened in Queens yesterday? I must ask you.
Where do I begin? See what happens when you have two teams that are in last place face each other. You get a lot of stupid results, to say the least. I mean, look what happened with the Pirates and Rockies last year. Yesterday's game was interesting. I was like, I saw what happened with the 3 throwing errors, and then the game just kind of started spiraling. Shout out to Tyler Tolbert, by the way, tying a major league record with 12 consecutive hits. And by the way, he also is only the 3rd player to have consecutive 5-hit games, which is a list including Roberto Clemente.
That's a heck of a list.
And the guy named High?
Yes, High. In 1917. So, wow, Tyler Tolbert, have a week, man. This is a guy with under 100 major league plate appearances. But yeah, that game was, I don't even know how to describe it. The broadcast was getting weird too. Citi Field finally experienced tarps off, which is something. It sounded like it was getting pretty rowdy for the very small crowd. Not necessarily small crowd, but a crowd that was pretty dead. The team's 15 games under 500. What else do we expect? But yeah, that game was kind of wild. It also took about 3 hours and 40 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I thought the game was never going to end, specifically in the 5th inning.
In today's day and age, that is a long game. About 10 years ago, that's just an average Tuesday.
Yeah, unless Mark Burley was on the mound.
This is also true.
Yeah, but one man who donned the rubber many times in those old games, and he had that bulldog mentality to throw 102 miles per hour in the 8th inning. He's famous for many things. He dates he's married to Kate Upton now. Congratulations. He did not win a Cy Young over Rick Porcello, which she famously tweeted about. He did win an MVP over Jacoby Ellsbury. We can debate on a different podcast if he was worthy of winning the MVP. But today we pay homage to a one-time Met, a multi-time Tiger, a legend of the game. Justin Verlander is retiring. Alex, your team was on the end of some of his pitching performances, we'll say. What are your Justin Verlander thoughts?
I mean, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. Like, I know that sounds weird to say, but when you take a look at players that were on their peak, right? It's like when they were on their peak, there was nobody better than Verlander. He was absolutely dominant. Again, 100 to 102 mile per hour fastball, devastating breaking stuff, and he did it with poise too. Like, if he messed up anything, you would not know. He was just that good. Here, the biggest thing that's so interesting for me, though, is if you take a look at his career stats, is how much of a roller coaster he really was. Because as you take a look at what he has done, he started off his career extremely well. And by started off, I mean for 8 years, like, was really, really good. And then started to falter a little bit here. But even then, his faltering was like, what, a 4.5 ERA, which I don't call that bad here. That's really not that bad. But then on top of it, the guy comes back, has another resurgence, gets injured, comes back, and then wins a Cy Young in his age 39 season, like, with a 1.75 ERA nonetheless. Legitimately, this guy's career needs to be studied more and more, because he has been to quite literally the highest of highs, while also experiencing some of the lower lows. Not the lowest of lows, mind you, but he is a pitcher who's really done everything. He's won an MVP. He's won a Cy Young. In fact, 3 Cy Youngs. Here, he has a World Series ring. In fact, 2 of them. But that's the thing that you really just kind of have to remember when you're looking at this guy here, is that he's done everything. What else does he need to prove? He doesn't. This guy's had the incredible baseball career that you would want to have here. Very much like an MLB Life style career, where you just start balling. everything starts to line up here. You get the girl, even Kate Upton. You get incredible stats here. You can have, a couple rough spots, but you're going to come back and get back to right where you left off at. And that's exactly what happened with him. Over the last few years, he has struggled, yes, but remember, the dude is 43 years old right now. Like, yes, he won a Cy Young in 2022. He's not looked anything like that pitcher since, but that doesn't necessarily even mean bad. Here, take a look at the 2023 season between two different teams here. Finished with a 3.22 ERA. That's still really good. There's a lot of teams where that would be the ace on your team. And now this year, again, he gets nominated to be the Commissioner Legends pick. And he talked about it here in the post, which, by the way, if you haven't gone and seen already the post he made on social media, it's a very eloquently put letter. I honestly really liked it here. But he used this as kind of like you know what? If I'm considered a legend, maybe I shouldn't be doing this as much anymore. But he wanted to make sure that it wasn't about a milestone or a date that he was going. It was going to be about whether or not he felt like he could still do it. And, well, you take a look at this year and having a 12.27 ERA, struggling quite a bit. But the best part, I think, is that he knew it was going to be this year. And the reason I say this, he returned to Detroit. A lot of famous players, a lot of legendary players love to finish off their career with the team that meant the most to them. And for Verlander, obviously, it was going to be Detroit. Like, yeah, he won World Series with the Astros, but he never felt like an Astro during these times. You still always just thought of, the Tiger, Justin Verlander. So I wish nothing but the best for him in retirement. Here, he's not going to be able to play in the All-Star game here because he said he's not going to be medically cleared for it. But you know what? Hey, I agree. Also, double bass, by the way, the part of the whole 2017 Astros and all that here. But I'm trying to put that aside for right now for the sole purpose of just understanding that this is still a career that transcends baseball. Legitimately, this does. This is one of those careers that you're going to look back on. We're going to be telling our grandkids about Justin Verlander, how dominant he was, and for such a long time, too. Again, he had a stretch, of 5 years where he was an all-star, 2009 to 2013. And that's also including a lot of years where he had really, really small ERAs and didn't get even elected to be an all-star here. I want to bring, actually, can you bring that back up here, Splash, if you don't mind? Yeah, I want to bring special attention here to the second paragraph here, where it says, the season has challenged me in ways I haven't experienced before, both physically and mentally. I've always believed that as long as I could compete at the level I expect of myself, I'd keep playing. I never wanted to retire because of a milestone number or date on the calendar. I wanted the game to tell me when it was time, and the game, I think, is finally giving him the tap on the shoulder.
Yeah, I know he had aspirations of pitching until he was 45 at one point. And I wondered if he was going to be the guy who would get to 300 wins, be the last guy to get to 300 wins, because frankly, I don't see anyone getting close to that. But yeah, Father Time did catch up to him. For a while, he was an ageless wonder, really. And like you were saying earlier, I mean, he had a little dip in his career in his early 30s. He after the 2013 season, he had underwent core muscle surgery. He had to take an IL stint for the first time in his career. And then he got injured again in 2015. And then 2016, he returned to form, basically. In 2017, he was having a solid year. And then he went to the Astros and was just dominant down the stretch. And I'll never forget that ALCS performance against the Yankees. Both of those starts, in particular, the one where he threw 9 innings and struck out 13 batters, threw over 120 pitches, and then got the win when they walked off in the bottom of the inning. Those years in his mid to late 30s in Houston, sort of cemented him as a Hall of Famer. And I know he was not a Met for very long. He only made 16 starts, but again, it was one of those years. He began the year on the IL. He was sort of alternating like one good start, one bad start, and then all of a sudden he got in this groove where he looked like peak Justin Verlander. And I was lucky enough to see one of his last starts as a Met, and I'm grateful I even got to see him pitch in person at all. He threw 8 innings of 1-run ball against the White Sox. Truly just a pleasure to watch on TV and in person. And of course, they traded him back to the Astros. And again, he just continued to be a workhorse. I mean, 11 starts, 68 innings. That's averaging over 6 innings per start. I know that, the injuries caught up to him even more the last couple of years, but you can't deny what this guy has accomplished throughout his career. I mean, heck, even last year, I remember he sort of had a middling first half of the season in San Francisco and then pitched really well down the stretch. And I mean, that's part of the reason why I expected him to have another great year or another solid year in Detroit. And I bet, I'm sure a lot of baseball fans outside the AL Central really wish the Tigers were performing more so he could have a chance to maybe get back to the World Series with Detroit. I mean, we saw him in the World Series 3 times with Houston. He's a 2-time world champion. He, by the way, is second all-time in postseason innings pitched and first all-time in postseason strikeouts. So he basically accomplished everything you could on a baseball field. He won Rookie of the Year. He won 3 Cy Youngs. He won an MVP. He has 2 World Series rings. So yeah, I mean, he's going out on top. He's obviously first ballot Hall of Famer. And I know we've mentioned the 2017 Astros. He was a pitcher, so don't know if he was involved in the cheating scandal. But we are going to have, I'm sure, at some point, an uncomfortable conversation about what team he will be representing in the Hall of Fame, because obviously he came up with Detroit and pitched the most years with Detroit. I'd say you could say his most dominant years are with Houston, but Detroit made him. I think there's a reason he went back to Detroit at the end of his career. And honestly, at the end of the day, I'm expecting him to make the decision for himself that he will go in as a Tiger.
Yeah, I don't think there's any universe in which he goes in as an Astro. Like, yes, he won 2 rings with them here, but like I was saying during my earlier bit here, like even when he was an Astro, I didn't see Astros Verlander. I saw Tigers Verlander. I'll say one last thing on this here too. I got to see Verlander pitch a couple times, but the one that will always stick in my mind is I got tickets for a game that I took my one of my younger cousins to, who's not a baseball fan, and he was hoping that it was going to be big hits and all that. Justin Verlander was pitching, and he held the Mariners scoreless over, I think it was 7 1/3. Like, I was myself as a baseball guy, I was excited watching it, being like, this guy is insane. My younger cousin is like, when's something supposed to happen? And I'm just like, oh, buddy, you don't know what's already happening. But it's all good. He still enjoyed the game. But that was, if for someone to get into baseball, that may maybe not have been the best game to go to.
I mean, yeah, I got to see Clayton Kershaw pitch against the Mets in 2016. It felt like a similar deal. Like, I went there expecting to watch domination from the opponent. Justin Verlander and Clayton Kershaw are both titans of baseball who happen to be at the peak of their powers at the same time.
Yeah, we can have a longer offseason conversation on Kershaw versus Verlander versus Scherzer. That's going off in the chat. Shout out to the guys in the chat.
Yeah.
Or Scherzer and Kershaw, they were teammates briefly.
Yes, they were.
Scherzer and Verlander, of course, were teammates with multiple teams.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you never know. And they pitched in the same state with Houston and Texas briefly, too. So, yeah, Verlander just an incredible specimen on the mound, someone with that throwback mentality. He threw 250 innings in a season, and I believe he is the only active pitcher to have done that. He most recently did it in 2011. I would be surprised if any other active pitcher was pitching before 2011.
He's the last player to do 250, I know.
Yeah, so 250 innings. I know there's some older crowd that's like, why not 300? Why not 350? Sure thing, pal. But it's not even the 251 innings. Yeah, that's great. All well and good. He had the best ERA in the American League, and he had the lowest WHIP in the American League. So he was the hardest man to reach base against, and he threw the most innings. He got the most outs, which is preposterous, although he did not face the most batters, which is hilarious. But an MVP, a 3-time Cy Young, a playoff MVP. I know the World Series stats are held against him, and he did have a 5+ ERA in the World Series. Not great, but he had some truly iconic playoff moments. You had pitching against the A's, the 2017 winning the whole ALCS MVP against the Yankees, but he had many starts. He had 9 shutout innings against Oakland, 9 innings of 1-run ball against the Yankees, 8 1/3 of 1-run ball against the Yankees in 2012 when he was on the Tigers. And he dominated Oakland, frankly. But just the strikeouts, they piled up. He had 13 strikeouts in a game, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 10, 10. Just an incredible pitcher, someone who was really on the forefront of some of the modern pitching stuff that we do with the throw the fastball, the top of the zone for whiffs, what Garrett Cole also did in Houston, and what the best strikeout artists of today do, the Miz and a 2023 Spencer Strider. They're pumping fastballs at the top of the zone and off speed at the bottom and try to hit it. You can't. I'll allow a couple solo home runs here and there. That's okay, because they're solo home runs, because his command is good enough to not walk guys, and he's going to get so many outs. He's not going to allow many hits. So just an incredible pitcher to watch. I believe I saw him in person. I went to enough Tigers games. It would be pretty annoying if I didn't get to see him. But a great pitcher, a great steward for baseball. As we transition into this kind of, I'd say, murky era, Verlander, Kershaw, Scherzer, and to a lesser extent Greinke, I think, are the last of the no doubt Hall of Famers. Greinke is more of a borderline case, but now
I think he gets in.
Yeah. Now we're in an era of, we're looking at Garrett Cole, we're looking at Zach Wheeler, who does not have the bona fides of a Hall of Famer, but you could argue in this era he could be a Hall of Famer. Chris Sale, is he a Hall of Famer? I don't know. He's a really freaking good pitcher. Right. DeGrom is really at the forefront of this. So he's in many ways the last of a dying breed. In many ways a door to a different future focused on pitch shapes. And I'll even talk about Hunter Brown. And I mentioned this previously, that when Hunter Brown came up with the Astros, they wanted him to be Justin Verlander 2.0. Okay, that's fine. Justin Verlander is one of the best pitchers of all time. Hunter Brown is not Justin Verlander. He's very good. He's not Justin Verlander. So they had to adjust on the fly. And I think that's the new meta, is not only figuring out what the best way to attack hitters is, but what the best way to maximize what a player's doing, whether that's, where their arm is, their arm angle. Sean Manaea dropped his arm angle to look like Chris Sale and became Cy Young for half a season. What are you doing to the ball? How many guys have added knuckle curves? How many guys have added death balls? How many guys are adding rise or adding cut or adding whatever word you want to use to their pitches? And I think Verlander in many ways was the player most associated with that. Perhaps Garrett Cole's in there too, as 2 Astros, but he's a revolutionary player in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, and this the thing is, Hunter Brown grew up a Justin Verlander fan. He's from Michigan, and then he got to be teammates with him. And you saw the similarities in their mechanics, at least when Brown first came up. But I mean, to your point about his postseason performance, I mean, the 2 that stick out in my brain are both against Oakland. I mean, 2012, the A's had won 2 in a row to even up the series. They just won on a walk-off the day before. So they have all the momentum in the world in their home stadium. Verlander goes out there, throws a complete game shutout to end their season. Then the next year again, that I know the Tigers had just won, but again, you're going back to Oakland, and Verlander goes out and throws 8 shutout innings and again ends their season. I mean, he had ice in his veins. I know that the World Series stats weren't pretty for the most part, but in the preceding rounds, he was unhittable.
I think it's really interesting to note as well that in just postseason pitching wise, right? Just postseason pitching has a 3.58 ERA. I want to kind of stress how big that really is here. You're playing against all of the best teams of that year. So you're not gonna get the free ERA stuff like you would, facing the Angels or some of these other teams. Here, you are facing the New York Yankees. You are facing the Dodgers. You are facing these teams that are just nuts good, and you are shutting them down like they are the Angels. That's so impressive here. I also want to make a bit of a personal connection here that, Splash, I know you're going to be, you probably already know this here, but I wanted to double check here. Our favorite game, MLB Power Pros 2008. Justin Verlander is the last active player that is still into MLB Power Pros 2008.
Is that true?
Yes, that is true. There are 2 players that are currently active that also registered a game in 2008. The other one, he's been talked about in the chat a lot. It's Max Scherzer.
Oh my God,
it's crazy. Just those 2, and Scherzer was not in the game
because he came up late in the season. Yeah,
exactly. So Verlander is the last remnant of players in MLB Power Pros, our game 2000, MLB Power Pros 2008 here. That, and once he retires, it's gone. Like, there will be none left.
That's why.
Until Jamie Moyer comes back, buddy.
Yeah, Jamie Moyer's
Oh, yeah, Jamie Moyer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know, what am I thinking?
Yeah, Jamie Moyer. All right.
I mean, Bartolo Colon maybe has some innings in him, too.
He was not in the game, unfortunately.
He wasn't in the game? Oh, because he got injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was not in the game. So,
darn.
Yeah, what a great career. Hat tip. I would hat tip, but my headphones would kind of fly everywhere. That would be bad podcasting. What's going to be good podcasting? Yeah, what's going to be good podcasting? Me fumbling over my words. What's going to make for even better podcasting? All-Star game. Everyone, starters, reserves, pitchers, everyone's out. And even actually some injury replacements have come out. There have been several pitchers who have come in on the National League side. Fellas, I want your gut change. You are Rob Manfred. I'm sorry in advance, by the way. You are Mob Ranfred for a day.
There we go.
There you go. You are Mob Ranfred for one day. You are allowed to make one change. No one knows. All the MLB.com articles, they would retroactively be correct. No one gets mad at you. Well, plenty of people get mad at you, but they're not going to, oh, he changed it. You get one change to the All-Star game roster. Alex, what is your change? You make one change, one player for player swap.
I was really hoping you were going to ask like a change on the format of all this, because I would just say ban all the Blue Jay voters, because that would help. That would change up the rosters dramatically. But I'm going to make one change here, and I don't think anyone's going to be shocked with it. I'm not having the American League leading vote getter Ernie Clement at second base. I'm having Cole Young at second base. Travis Mazonic also works in here, but like we were talking about this earlier, if you have a person that you want in, you have to drop someone else. Yeah, I'm dropping Ernie Clement, and I am putting in Cole Young.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my. So I was considering that. Yeah. So mine's going to be a little tougher because I'm going the pitching route, and again, this is call me a homer all you want, but I am taking my man. I hate to disrespect the starters, but Jesus Luzardo I am taking out. I know this is not great optics taking a hometown guy out. I'm putting a reliever on there. I'm putting Luke Weaver in there. Dude, Luke Weaver has been, basically everything the Mets could have asked for. I know he's a non-closer on a team that is in last place right now, but the stat that keeps popping up on my feed is that Luke Weaver, the last time he allowed a run was the day that the Knicks eliminated the Hawks on April 30th. That is the day I arrived in North Carolina for nationals. And yeah, he has not allowed an earned run since. His ERA is 1.8. Plus, you look for a first-time All-Star, and I know Luzardo is also a first-time All-Star, but this is like a perfect opportunity, I think. So yeah, he allowed, by the way, Luke Weaver allowed 2 base runners the entire month of June. How he was not reliever of the month is beyond me. Yeah, I know that he only has 1 save this year. It didn't come until a couple days ago, but Luke Weaver, in my opinion, should be an all-star.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Fair. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is a simple change. Matt Olson's the starter over Freddie Freeman. Sorry. I'm not changing a guy in for out. That's just that's fine. I could argue for Michael Harris, but Matt Olson, Matty-O has been the only bright spot for the Braves. Freddie Freeman gets to sit behind Shohei Ohtani every day, so I'm sorry.
I will bring up one more because I feel like I have to bring up this name here. There is, when I'm looking at the rosters, there's one name that really jumps out to me as how are you here, and that's Michael Wacha.
I was going to mention this.
How did Michael Wacha make this team, and my boy Emerson Hancock not make it when Emerson has been
Logan
absolutely destroying the American League?
I will say there's something impressive here about Michael Wacha making it. I don't know if he was a commissioner selection too, but Michael Wacha, this is his second All-Star game. His first All-Star game came in 2015. So he went 11 years between making his first and second All-Star game. Respectfully, I like Michael Wacha a lot. I think he's had a great resurgence in his 30s, but his team already had a representative in Bobby Witt Jr., and B, his numbers are good, not All-Star caliber.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that you can get into. I could also argue for Dylan Lee. Raisel Iglesias made his first appearance, and Lee had been just unbelievable, but he got hammered in the last week. So just a case of when do you stop the voting? If you stop the voting, this is a first half award. So if someone goes on a crazy second half, looking at you, Bryce Harper in 2021, Kirk Gibson in 1988, et cetera, et cetera.
Ken Caminiti.
Yes, exactly. You go on a crazy second half, it doesn't matter. Right. That's one thing. The Locked On MLB podcast host Sully says it should be the last 162 games. I could be down for that, or the All-Star game should be at the beginning of the season, which is
we had that this year. It's called the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, World Baseball Classic.
That's true.
That's
true. But I can see the sentiment. I can see the sentiment because it kind of knocks second half players. Like Tim Salmon is a classic case of this. I don't know this.
Travis Hafner, man.
Yeah, the statistics don't exactly bear out. Salmon is like a gigantic splits difference, but he was a little bit better in the second half. And a couple of years that he would have been an all-star if you have a full season, but it's only half season. It's his worst first half. So any other overarching all-star game thoughts? We'll talk about the Derby here momentarily.
I mean, so there are a number of dudes who I think should be in. I'm glad one wrong was righted already. Wilson Contreras got added. But I'm going to add one glaring omission. I mean, how is JJ Weatherholt not an all-star?
Right.
JJ Weatherholt, I mean, by wins above replacement, is the most valuable rookie in baseball by Fangraphs more. And that's the thing is, I don't want to take away from the guys who made it because for the most, so American League second base, pretty weak. National League second base, very good. So respectfully to Bryson Stott, I don't know how the heck you were finalist, but you have all these guys competing for these spots. And unfortunately, you end up with a situation. Yeah, like Luis Arraez has been great this year. Ozzy Albies has had a resurgence this year. Then you got guys like Weatherholt. You got Brandon Lau. Like you got Xavier Edwards. All these guys. Bryce Terang somehow didn't make the All-Star game. Like you have so many guys competing for a finite number of positions, and you end up with snubs like Weatherholt. Here it's kind of just mind-boggling though.
Good news and bad news. Contreras, he's an all-star. He's going to participate in the Derby. He just left with a leg injury. So those are both
Not
up
great.
in the air now. Great. Just what the Red Sox ordered.
I saw a really funny post today on Twitter. It was obviously fake, but it was Chandler Simpson in the home run derby.
Yes, I saw
And
the
I'm
exact
like,
same
that
post.
is amazing. It's so good.
So do I have a question of the day?
I've got a question of the day we can use here.
All
All right, go ahead.
All right, so here, hit us with the graphic. It's time for the question of the day.
Yeah,
Gentlemen, thank you for finishing that off. Gentlemen, we just had the 4th of July, so I need to know. Is a hot dog a sandwich? What is a hot dog?
Hot dog is not a sandwich. Stop it.
Is it a taco?
No, it's not a taco either. What? A hot dog is a hot dog, man.
Dude, we had the cube roll conversation last week.
I know.
I did have hot dogs for dinner, though.
Okay, fair enough then. The best argument I've ever heard for it being a sandwich here is Subway themselves had hot dogs on their menu for a little bit, and it was under the sandwiches category. So I'm like, I mean, they are the sandwich experts here. They're the ones that have made millions upon millions making sandwiches. I feel like there might be a little bit of something to work with there.
Truthfully, okay, I'm going to say this, and it's going to be extremely out of context. In Colorado, according to the tax code, chicken wings are sandwiches.
What?
Yeah. So this is a half as interesting video. I can link it somewhere. I'll send it to the group chat. I know that, but this is the case of what is the tax code saying? And the tax code says sandwiches and, breaded chicken wings are classified under the same prepared foods umbrella. So they are both considered sandwiches in Colorado tax code.
I don't know if I can agree with that. But...
Yeah, it's a longer form video that I missed some of the point of the video, but yeah, that's the.
I'm looking at like the cubic rule thing here. Wouldn't that technically mean that like a boneless chicken wing would be sushi?
Boneless chicken wing.
Yeah. Technically it would be a calzone.
Oh, that's true. It's a calzone.
Oh, okay. I can accept that.
That tracks.
I can kind of get behind that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that means just a raw chicken breast is a salad?
All right, I think we need to move on.
All right, blocks above replacement strikes again. All right, fellas. The home run derby is coming up, and we've only had 3 players announced?
4, I think.
4 players now. With Jack Caglione coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Wilson Contreras, his status is up in the air, and we have a comment from Mark234. Back in the day, the poor man's hot dog bun was sliced white bread wrapped and squished around the hot dog. Therefore, it is a sandwich. I can get behind that.
You know what? Yeah, it's fine.
I can get behind that.
Love you, Mom.
So,
great analysis there.
Honestly, no, to be fair, look, she's cooking. All right, yeah. Legit, like she's got a point.
Yeah. Now, is she cooking with gas or is she cooking like a 4-year-old with like a play stove?
No, she's cooking with peanut oil.
Okay.
We are not returning to the peanut butter is a condiment conversation.
we are
not doing that.
Done.
Yeah.
Peanut butter on a hot dog, though. No.
I mean, we did try the hot dog with cream cheese on it.
Yes, that would be called a topping, not a condiment.
Yes, that is a topping. Yes.
Like you wouldn't say like sprinkles are a condiment.
No, that's
okay. Would caramel sauce be a condiment?
Yes.
What about the magic fudge that like
the magic shell?
Yeah.
100%.
That's a topping.
Okay, good. So 4 players have entered the home run derby: Junior Caminero, Jack Caglione, Wilson Contreras, and Ben Rice Baby. Of course, Contreras, his status is up in the air. He left today's game with an injury. Fellas, that is an awful lot of American leaguers. Where are the National Leaguers?
Afraid of Jack Caglione. That's the answer.
I mean, close enough. Yeah. I mean, Jack Caglione, by the way, trying to be the second Plant High School / Florida Gator alum to win the home run derby. The same route that Pete Alonso went. But I'm mildly disappointed that Big Amish is not participating. He already declared against it. I thought it was a great opportunity for him. He grew up a Phillies fan. The game's in Philly. PCA also said he's not doing it. So yeah, I didn't even notice that until Splash pointed out that it's all American leaguers. That means the remaining participants are all National Leaguers. I mean, I don't know where to go from there, but I'm not expecting Ohtani to do it. Hunter Goodman says he wants to do it, but hasn't received a call. XYZ balling, this is a good idea. Actually, Bryce Eldridge, he can hit the tar out of the ball. But yeah, it's kind of weird because the Derby is on Monday. So we're, 5 days away and we only have half of the field. So
And the one just left a game with an injury today. So
yeah, so now we
there's
might
that.
have 5 spots open. I feel like normally by now we at least have like 6 guys committed.
I mean, I brought this up earlier, right?
Do I
Again,
need to remove you from the chat?
if you do again, no,
Dom Canzone.
no, well, yes, also by the way, but also
Dom
Luke
Canzone should be
Raley-
an all-star, by the way.
Yes, Dom Canzone should absolutely be an all-star. Absolutely, he should. I love the fact that even Dan Wilson is now saying that, okay, yeah, he's not a platoon bat anymore. He's our middle of the order power bats. And I'm like, good, thank you. But yeah, no, Luke Raley still is one of the strongest human beings I've ever seen. I would love to see Jack Caglione versus Luke Raley in the home run derby. That would be incredible.
Yep. Double base.
By the way, double
Thanks
base.
for your
I
right.
just think that maybe Ben Rice will hit more home runs than Jazz did last year.
I mean, that's really a really low bar.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I did once watch on television Robinson Cano hit 0 home runs in the opening round. So
I
anything is
remember
possible.
that.
As a defending champion, no less,
Yeah.
batting last in the first round, he hit 0.
He was the defending champion, and the whole thing was that it was also his dad pitching to him again, I believe. Here, that was the whole
second year in a
thing.
row.
Second year in a row. First year wins the derby. Second year cannot get the ball out of the yard. Like,
It's funny because I remember in 2010 he'd committed to doing it, and then Kevin Long and Joe Girardi said no, like you can't do it. And then the next year he won it. So at least he can say he won a home run derby.
this is also very true.
It do be like that. Michael Harris would be a great foil if you want to choose a Brave. You used Olsen last year in Atlanta, so if you want to do another Brave, Harris is sitting there.
You know, honestly, at this point,
the All-Star game roster.
Honestly, at this point, I know Juan Soto mentioned it, but he has nothing to lose by doing it.
Yeah.
You know, the Mets don't have any. I mean this in the most respectful way possible. They don't have anything to compete for at this point, so it won't hurt him to try to win it. And be like, sort of that foil, like you were saying, like adding a division rival. And it sounds like Kyle Schwarber could do it, but he did.
I was about to ask about Schwarber.
As I say, he got scratched from a game recently because of a back problem. And it sounds like Harper would do it. If he could find a batting practice thrower, which is interesting because I remember when he won, his dad was his batting practice pitcher. So I mean, maybe Harper runs it back there. He did win on his home turf in 2018. So I feel like it seems pretty obvious that one of those two guys will end up doing it.
Yeah, I think if I had to bet, I'd say at least one Philly does it, and at least someone else from the AL East does it. James Wood, I don't know. CJ Abrams. Ozzy Albies is a different power profile, but he is a power hitter in theory.
Mookie Betts did it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sal Stewart? I don't know. I know O'Neal Cruz is still hurt, I believe. He has a lot of fun power.
I mean, also Hunter Goodman's at what?
Do we respect catchers though?
Yes, we should. Always.
Yes, I mean a catcher won it last year.
Catcher won it last year.
Yes, does MLB?
Hunter Goodman should be in it at this point.
He has the second most home runs of anybody in the National League,
and also he has better numbers on the road. So
that's
I think Hunter Goodman. If I guess Wilson Contreras isn't a catcher anymore. Honestly,
Brandon Lau is another name.
Yeah, Brandon Lau. You know, I mean, if you really want to, say Wilson is actually hurt, why not throw William in there? I know William's not necessarily a pure power guy, but it's not a terrible idea. I mean, Alex was in it one year. All right,
I'll raise you one. Jackson Churio batting left-handed.
That's a great idea.
Hopefully, he doesn't ruin his career like he did with Anthony Rendon.
I was going to say that was the peak of his Angels tenure.
Ketel Marte, but every round he has to switch which handiness he's using.
Ketel Marte, the pitcher is Spencer Strider. The place is Truist Park. He would win the Derby. Promise.
Yep, absolutely.
So, any other All-Star thoughts, or shall we move to the Treviathan?
This is a really weird All-Star cycle because I feel like there's a lot of anger around it. First bit of it was the fact that the Toronto Blue Jays basically dominated the vote here by just the fans doing that. And it made us angry about, okay, we need to abolish the whole fans voting thing here. Now we're seeing a lot of players that are snubs, but this is something that we feel every year, right? Every year we know that there are massive snubs, but it feels like this year there's something a little bit stronger in it. It feels like there are more names here that are like, how the heck did this person not get in? But the more I think about it, it's so hard to make the All-Star game because of the limited space you're in it. Like, there are a lot of players that definitely deserve to be All-Stars that are not there because, like we brought up earlier, that means someone else has to be taken off the list. And we can find, 2, maybe 3 on each side, but that's in a roster of 26. Like, that's hard to try and make it fully work right.
Yeah, and it's tough when there's also the ramifications of you have to have one for every team. And this year, I thought it was fine. I think every team deserved a spot. You have guys that are pitching on Sunday who, if you are pitching on Sunday, you're not going to be in the All-Star game. Well, if you were on the bubble, I don't know if Zach Wheeler's pitching on Sunday, but I know Wheeler is like a popular snub candidate. If Wheeler's pitching on Sunday, he physically can't be an All-Star. So he just he doesn't get any sort of acclaim. So you have to go deeper down the list. So you're getting your, 13th pitcher in the National League as an All-Star over Wheeler just because Wheeler is pitching on a Sunday. And given the Miz and Meyer and another pitcher pitching on Sunday, you're like you're dropping way down the list already. So you're adding like the 16th best pitcher in the National League, perhaps, and you're leaving out the, 7th best. I don't have a running list in my head, but wherever you want to slot Wheeler in, because he doesn't have the volume of the top guys, the Burns, the Miz, Sale, Sanchez. But he's been unbelievable this year. So there's always an ebb and flow to it. And like I said earlier, when it's only half a season, some of these are going to look really stupid. If Ozzy Albies comes out and hits 135 in the second half and Bryce Turang hits 25 home runs like he did last year, that's going to look pretty dumb when Turang's a 7-WAR player and Ozzy is a 2-win player. And that's just, it kind of is what it is with the timing of the event. Because the NBA All-Star Game is about 75% of the way through. The NHL All-Star Game is about 75% of the way through. And the NFL Pro Bowl is at the end of the season, although some of the voting is done beforehand. And then you have all the, if you make the Super Bowl, you're not going. If you, injured, stuff like that, you get the Tyler Huntley's, Shedeur Sanders, and Joe Flacco's making the Pro Bowl. So there's always something goofy happen.
Yeah, I mean, remember last year, that's how Jacob Mizorowski made the game. Everyone kept, withdrawing from the game, and all of a sudden, this guy who's only made 5 big league starts is in the All-Star game. And that, I know, drew the ire of many people. In particular, I mean, Christopher Sanchez seemed like a slam dunk to make the All-Star game and then got left off. I mean, I've seen it twice with my favorite team. I mean, Taijuan Walker in 2021 had this great first half and then was, just serving up meatballs nonstop the entire second half. And then last year, David Peterson, same deal, All-Star first half, really, really bad second half.
Hey, Bryce Elder.
In
2023 was awful for 2.5 years. So there's always something goofy.
So, it's pitchers in particular that are tough. And to your point, every team needed an All-Star. This year, I thought, look, I wasn't expecting Eduardo Rodriguez to make it, personally. But the Diamondbacks needed a rep, and he's been pretty good this year, albeit his, his underlying metrics have not been very good. But it was either probably him or Corbin Carroll, who hasn't quite been Corbin Carroll this year.
Is it time for the Treviathan, sir?
Yes, it is.
All right. It's trivia time. Bow, bow,
all right.
bow.
We're running back an old segment because the All-Star game is this week. So we're doing the one-time All-Star trivia. Just like most years, it is we're gonna do it Jeopardy style. So you buzz in. The way we're gonna do this, there are multiple clues for each player, and I'm gonna read the clue, and then at the end of each clue, you have the opportunity to buzz in. Obviously, if you buzz in and get it wrong, the other player has the opportunity to steal the point. Any questions? All right, shall we get started?
All right, let's do it.
All right, our first one-time All-Star made his lone All-Star game appearance in 2016 for the Reds. He was 11th round pick by the Giants in 2010. All right, no one buzzing in. Are you buzzing in? All right.
Yes.
Flash.
Would this be Zach Cozart?
It is not.
Okay.
All right, second clue. Traded at the 2015 deadline for Mike Leake. You don't have to buzz in here.
Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. I know what I know this. Because okay. I don't keep going. Sorry.
All right. Next clue. He competed in the 2016 Home Run Derby. All right. We want our last clue?
Sure.
Yes,
He won a Gold Glove and led the National League in RBIs in 2021. Yep.
This would be World Series winner Adam Duvall.
That is correct. It is Adam Duvall.
I forgot he was an all-star.
Yeah. This was a nice effort here from Andrew, but it is not Brandon Nimmo.
No. I will say, like,
Thank
when
you
you
for
said
that.
traded for Mike Leake, I'm like, wait a minute, that's a Mariner trade right there.
It was not a Mariner
Was that
trade,
not the
though.
Mariner
It was
trade?
to the Reds. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Next player made his only All-Star game for the 2021 Red Sox. He was a first-round pick out of UConn in 2011. Anyone buzzing in?
Thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. It's not Brandon Nimmo, though.
It is
Are you
not
sure?
Brandon Nimmo. This is a good effort here, though. All right, let's move on then. He allowed 1 earned run in 8 2/3 innings in the 2018 postseason.
Oh my gosh. I know who this is. I know who this is. I'm just trying to remember the name. There's an MLB The Show card associated with him that's stupidly good.
All right.
Yeah, keep it rolling.
Keep going. All right. He saved 24 games in 2021, but lost his closer's role late in the season.
Oh my goodness.
I know who this is. I'm just trying to remember the
I'm
name.
gonna buzz.
All right. Who do you got?
I'll take a stab at Garrett Whitlock.
It is not Garrett Whitlock. Alex, do you want to buzz in or want one more clue?
Yeah, give me the last. Because here's the thing, I know who it is. I am so unbelievably certain about who it is, and it's not Brandon Nimmo. Good effort, though.
Shout out in the chat.
The chat is going crazy right now.
All right.
Go.
All right. So he made 467 career appearances, and all but 3 of them were out of the bullpen.
Buzz.
Yeah, who?
I don't remember if this guy was even a pitcher, but I think is this
Great.
Brandon Workman.
It is not Brandon Workman, but you're on the right thought. You're on the right train of thought there.
I'll have to throw in the towel here.
All right. The correct answer was Matt Barnes.
Matt Barnes. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
He could have said named after an NBA player.
I realized that right after we finished. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Let's
Was
move
Brandon
on,
Workman
then.
a pitcher, by the way?
Yes, he was. And
Okay,
he was
cool.
the closer in 2019. But
Okay. I wasn't
yes.
too far off then.
All right, next one. This guy made his only All-Star game appearance in 2017 for the Diamondbacks. He was a 6th-round pick in 2012, and he hit 30 home runs with 105 RBIs in 2017.
Buzz.
Yep.
Eduardo Escobar.
It is not Eduardo Escobar.
No, he's been in the All-Star game a bunch of times. If I remember right. Because isn't it he always finds a way in?
Are we thinking about the same Eduardo Escobar?
Oh, we're probably thinking about different Escobars then.
It is. Yeah, no, it is not Eduardo Escobar. All right, let's move on. In the 2017 National League wildcard game, he went 4 for 5. And the Diamondbacks beat the Rockies.
Buzz.
Yeah.
Jake Lamb.
It is Jake Lamb.
There we go.
But I'm not gonna lie, the last clue probably would have helped Alex a bit because I said he's beloved by MLB The Show players for how good he was in Battle Royale.
That would not have helped me.
No, it wouldn't have. Okay, it seemed like
no. I like Jake Lamb's swing, but it wasn't great for me. But also, I'm not a great hitter.
He was really good for those for like the lower tier rounds because he was only like a silver at the time.
I remember when he was just a bronze, and so he was a budget beast. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. All right, so Splash has got 2. Let's see if Alex can get on the board.
Good.
All right, this next one, he made his only All-Star game in 2008 for the Cardinals. Second round pick out of UNLV by the A's in 1999. And he broke out after signing a minor league deal with the Cardinals in 2007.
Buzz?
Yeah.
Would this be Ryan Ludwig?
That is Ryan Ludwig.
Nice.
So yeah, Splash getting all the
Splash
points
has already
here.
Won. So
yeah, I was gonna say he also was famously traded in a deal that sent Jake Westbrook to the Cardinals and a minor league pitcher named Corey Kluber to Cleveland.
Ooh.
Wonder how that went.
All
right.
Says hello.
Next one. This guy made his only All-Star game in 2014 for the Red Sox. He came stateside in 2009 when he signed a deal with the Orioles. Anyone buzzing in?
Orioles?
No.
Orioles.
You
don't
what
have
year
to buzz
did you
in.
say?
2009.
Yeah, I'm not buzzing yet.
All right. He was traded to the Rangers for Tommy Hunter and Chris Davis in 2012. Or sorry, 2011.
Yeah.
Keep it rolling.
Keep it
All right.
rolling,
He's
yeah.
best known for his masterful 2013 season in which he won ALCS MVP and finished 7th in Cy Young voting.
I think the chat got it first, actually.
All right. Do you want to tell us then? Yep. The answer is Koji Uehara.
Koji Uehara.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Good going, chat.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't know who gets the point there.
Give it to me because I don't
give
matter.
it to. I'm going to give it to Alex. Actually, yeah.
What
It's
if
not
the
like
chat wins trivia?
Yeah, I mean, chat knows ball, I guess.
Chat does in fact no ball.
Anyway, next player made his only All-Star game in 1996 for the Montreal Expos. Drafted in the 11th round in 1991 by Montreal. Anything? All right, he made the All-Star game in his first full season in the majors.
Buzz?
Yep.
I'll just shoot off Levon Hernandez.
It is not Levon Hernandez.
Buzz?
Yeah.
Tim Raines?
It is. Tim Raines definitely made more than one All-Star game.
I wasn't. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember players at this point.
Okay, full disclosure, this is the only 90s player I have on here.
Okay.
I'm also having to close comments so they don't spoil me again.
Anyway, this guy hit 54 doubles in 1997, but he still managed to slug under 400.
He was drafted by the
Expos. Yeah.
He was okay. I have no idea.
Wait.
All right.
I'll take a buzz. Luis Castillo.
It is not Luis Castillo.
No, he's a pitcher. He's on the Mariners currently.
Oh, he's in the minor leagues.
Next up, he retired with over 2,000 hits and a Gold Glove.
Huh.
Yeah, I still got nothing.
I feel like the last clue might give it away.
Please,
I'm gonna just pull Ronnie Belliard.
It is not Ronnie Belliard. And my last clue, he is one of the longer last names in MLB history.
Okay. Oh my goodness. So 1996 Expos. And then nothing.
I've got nothing.
I got nothing there.
It is
Wait. I know exactly who it is. It is Royals and Dodgers legend Mark Rutzelanek.
Okay, I don't know if I can give you a point there. It's
Do it. It's fine. Yeah.
All right. No, Splash. You get credit there. Because I know it was on the tip of your tongue. So Yes, it is Mark Grudzielanek.
I forgot he made it.
I did not know that he was drafted by the Expos. Huh.
Yeah, that's where he debuted. Probably better known with the Dodgers,
Royals.
I would say.
The
Dodgers,
Royals is where I know him
Royals.
from.
Well,
Yeah. By the time we were
Dodgers.
watching baseball, he was on the Royals.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We have a guy who made his only All-Star game in 2005 for the Nationals. He was a first-round pick by the Expos in 2003, the same year that he made his major league debut.
I'll rip Dimitri Young.
It is not Dimitri Young.
Great nickname, though.
Fantastic, yes.
All
Nice
right.
clip.
He led the majors with 47 saves and finished 5th in Cy Young voting in 2005.
Buzz. Chad Cordero?
That is correct. It is Chad
Yay.
Cordero, who,
MLB
by the
Power
way,
Pros coming through.
I learned during research for this that he was the guy who took Ken Griffey Jr.'s roster space when he abruptly retired in 2010. Also, he threw the final pitch at both Stade Olympique and RFK Stadium. So, yeah.
Wow.
All right. Next player made his only All-Star game in 2010 for the Dodgers. He signed with LA out of Taiwan in 1999.
11-year difference?
I believe he signed as a teenager, so makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah, I got nothing for now.
All right. He pitched to a 1.20 ERA with 12 saves in 2010. Most of those saves came in the second half.
Buzz, this is definitely wrong, but Broxton?
This guy replaced Broxton. It is not Jonathan Broxton, though. And the last clue I have, he pitched one more season in MLB after making the All-Star game, but then pitched in Taiwan until 2018. I realize this might be the most difficult one on here, so oops.
Yeah, the only Taiwanese player I can think of is Waylon Chen, and he did not pitch for the Dodgers. Although, didn't Stuart Fairchild play for Taiwan at the WBC?
He did, yes.
Okay.
This guy, I believe, is the only Taiwanese-born player to make an All-Star game. Do you guys want the answer?
Yes, please.
It is Hung-Chi Kuo, left-handed pitcher.
Legitimately don't think I've heard that.
Okay, he is an MLB Power Pros.
I was going to say, I don't know if that
it's like the eighth reliever for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Dmitry
all right.
Petrovich.
Dmitry Petrovich is a great guess.
Pablo Sanchez.
Yeah. All right. So the last player I have is he made his All-Star one All-Star game in 2013 for the Pirates. Drafted 4th overall out of Seton Hall by the Giants in 1997. I'll just move to the next clue. He pitched for 9 different teams across 15 big league seasons.
Buzz?
Yep.
AJ Burnett.
It is not AJ Burnett.
I think the chat spoiled because I'll just say I think that's right. Here, is it Jason Grilly?
It is Jason Grilly.
Yeah, so give that point to the chat.
Assist to Jack here.
There you go.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
Jason Grilly.
So chat gets that point. There we go. I'll tie with
Chat gets that point. Boy, chat
Chat
killing
knows
it today.
ball.
Yeah, I was cooking.
Chat got yeah, boy.
One.
They didn't get Brandon Nimmo, but they
They
got Jason Grilly. Yep. It is not Todd Jones or Jacoby Ellsbury. These guys know ball, all right.
Yo, the best pitcher
not
I've ever
Luke
seen,
Voigt.
Hunter Pence.
Alberto Jose Albuquerque, as Mike Francesa called him once. That it is not him. Also, Phil Reagan, yes, rest in peace. But yeah, they're. I mean, Koji Uehara, yeah, you guys got him. So wow, 2 points to the chat actually.
Sure.
Good work, guys.
I'll take last place in the chat. Yeah, sure. That tracks.
All right. Well, I had a tiebreaker, but I think we'll just move into the moment to ourselves. That was good work today.
GG, fellas.
GG. So that means Splash, you're doing trivia next week.
Yay!
Yep,
What a
Splash.
time to be alive.
And again, we're just continuing the track of you guys rotating trivia while I am here trying my best.
I mean, look, you keep showing up every day, every week,
Look, I
and
show up to
you'll
work
get
every
there
day.
eventually.
I will get there eventually. Eventually, it'll trickle down to being a win for me, in which I'll make another pun quiz. It'll be great.
Yeah, with the best graphics we've ever seen.
Okay, you gotta know, those graphics I made for that were actually kind of okay.
Yes.
I like them.
I don't know if I told you guys this, but my entire idea for that trivia category came from the idea of the 10-gallon hat and just having a bunch of Zach Gallons on a hat. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. It is time for a moment to ourselves. And as the host, I would like to go first, if that's okay, fellas.
Sounds good to me.
Go for it.
All right. Please count me down.
Your time begins in 3, 2, 1, begin.
Why? Team USA, why do you suck? But anyways, I think the issue with the US at the men's World Cup, of course, the women are excellent. And I saw a lot of like, oh, the US have actually won 4 World Cups because they won the Women's World Cup. The Women's World Cup is next year. We will celebrate then. Just let the Men's World Cup play out this year. We'll have the Women's World Cup next year. I will say it was super exciting. I was in Australia during the 2019 one, and the Aussie women were doing spectacularly. So they were very excited. There were a lot of fans out in the streets when we were walking through Sydney. But why does the U.S. suck at soccer? Why does the U.S. suck at football? It's multiple reasons. First of all, it's a depth question. If you think about it using like FIFA ratings, the U.S. occasionally will have a player in the 80s. Pulisic, or in years past, it'd be Tim Howard or Landon Donovan or Clint Dempsey. Pick your favorite player or pick the best player. They are the best player, and there would be like an 82 overall in FIFA or something like that, or an 84 overall, maybe if they were particularly good. Nowadays, it might be McKinney or Balogun. You get what I'm saying. You have one of those players. Once in a while, you'll have 2 of those players. The World Cup contenders, Belgium, Kevin De Bruyne, who's on the back end of his career, he's still in the 80s. Romelu Lukaku is back end of his career, he's still in the 80s. The Belgium team, it's like all 80s, if you think about it that way. At other teams, you have like a France, it's like all 85s, all 88s. Their entire front line is 90s. Like Ousmane Dembele would be the best player, would be the best American ever. He would be like Desiree Doué would be the best American ever. I could name off 20 guys on these random countries that would be the best American soccer player in the history of American soccer, but they play for a different country. And it's just the high-end talent is not there. And then the depth of talent is not there. It'd be one thing if you had a team, I would say the modern Dutch sort of fall into this now that Virgil van Dijk is not quite the best defender in the world. I don't think the Dutch have any 90s nowadays, but they're always competitive or generally competitive at these World Cups. And of course, in 2010 and 2014, they had Robin and Schneider who were pushing 90, or in 1974, they had Johan Cruyff, who was the best player in the world at the time, or at least in the conversation. And the U.S. doesn't have the high-end talent, and they don't have the depth of talent. You would think a country of 300 million people would have the depth of talent to at least compete. You know, I'm not saying they need to win the World Cup every year, but it is frustrating. And part of that is how the MLS functions. And part of that is it's just not going to change. There's too much structure. If you are an owner of an MLS franchise, you are not going to say, yeah, bring on promotion and relegation. And there's no structure to that. There's no, like, the English football pyramid has been around for 125 plus years. Like, there are long-term ebbs and flows to these things. If you said the American system or the North American system all of a sudden is going to have promotion and relegation, it's a tough sell. It's like the prisoner's dilemma. You have to make it look bad for both parties. And I don't think either party would want to do that. You're just going to stay in the same place. You're going to be at that equilibrium point and you can't change. So U.S. soccer is a really disappointing week, frankly. You had a lot of fans from the U.S. itself and outside the country turn against the team with the Balogun not overturned, but the suspension. And then like the way you play, if you had lost 2-1, if you did the 2014 Belgium bit again and you had Matt Freese stand on his head for 120 minutes and you have, a great young goal scorer at the end like Julian Green in 2014, you can build off that. Even in 2018, when they got kind of whacked by the Dutch. Okay, there's something or 2022, sorry, because they didn't make it. They missed the tournament in 2018. Inexplicable. That is the worst loss in the history of the U.S. Federation. This Belgium loss is pretty close, given all the positive momentum you're building. You're like, this is a team. You bring in Pochettino. You have all this momentum. You top the group. You beat Bosnia. You're like, all right. They were favored by the sports books to beat Belgium. And yes, I know sports books have to like account for Americans betting on America because America, but still they were not, they're not perceived as gigantic underdogs, and they just played like crap. They defended like crap. There was no like venom in the attack. The only time the U.S. looked slightly intimidating was when Tillman curled in a free kick. That was one kick of the game, 90 minutes plus. They were miserable. It was like I was watching Qatar versus Canada. Like it was just putrid. They weren't even down to 10 men like Qatar was. Just putrid stuff for 90 minutes. That was a waste of my Monday. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it was a colossal disappointment. I mean, this is, and look, I'm not even that big of a soccer fan. I mostly just tune in during the World Cup, but I was genuinely like enjoying watching them for the, those first 4 wins. I mean, that was, or I guess it was 3 wins, but
it looked great against Paraguay.
Like they looked like it was, maybe it was just me being delusional. It looked like a team that could have beaten Belgium.
Yeah.
But they just completely fell flat. And yeah, like to your point, I mean, if they had gone down in like a close game, like the way Cape Verde played against Argentina, or the way Egypt played against Argentina, like then you go down with some dignity. I feel like they went down with no dignity, unfortunately.
Here's what's weird, because again, I watched the game too, and it felt competitive for about 37 seconds. And it was after USA got the goal to equalize. And then immediately gives up a goal, and you're like, okay, yeah, no. Because here's the other thing. This is what made me angry here, is that Belgium was down a player for almost like 3/4 of the game. Like they were playing with 10. And it's like, okay, you're going to take advantage of that, USA? You're going to take advantage of having a full extra person on the field? No? Okay. Like, I don't even really want to put it all on Freeze, because legitimately just the rest of the defense was not doing anything. And then the offense just looked completely outmatched by the defense of Belgium. Like, well, I don't know soccer very well. One of the things I do know, though, is that you need to be able to make space. If you can make space between you and the defenders here, you're going to be able to have at least better looks and better shots. There was no space. There's like the defenders were practically hugging the attackers. Like
you looked at it, and it was like evident that Belgium did not respect what the Americans could do on the ball. It's like they did not respect the dribbling talent of McKinney or Pulisic, an injured Pulisic. Maybe that comes out that he's actually much more injured, and he went off halfway through too. Like Balogun, unfortunate for him to be put in that situation.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the old commercial when the guy touches the ball last, but the referee gives him the ball anyways, and the guy goes to his coach, is like, I touched the ball last, and he goes to the ref, it's like, I touched the ball last. It's like, okay, buddy. But it was just a really, I don't know, it felt like they came up to the stage to deliver a speech, and you look down and they're not wearing any pants. It didn't look prepared. They didn't look buckled up. It didn't look like it didn't look like they were a top 20 team in the tournament. And like, I'll use New Zealand as an example. New Zealand was the worst team at the tournament, either New Zealand or Haiti. New Zealand and Haiti had their moments. Haiti scored multiple times against Morocco. That was an excellent game. And New Zealand had their moments. They worked a draw. They had they kept it okay with Belgium for a little bit. Then Belgium just overran them in the second half. But like this was like just not a very good performance, and you can't point to the defense was good. Like Portugal had a pretty disappointing, I would say, World Cup. With a draw against, or they lost to Spain, but they allowed one goal. It was right at the end. It's like, okay, the issue is the attack and being able to connect with Ronaldo, whether that's Ronaldo's fault or the team's fault, who knows? But just a really frustrating, I guess, extended weekend for the U.S. MNT, because it was even like when Balogun gets sent off against Paraguay, not Paraguay, against Bosnia.
Bosnia, yeah.
Okay, it's like, okay, that's not great, but you can argue, okay, that's going to be galvanizing. It's going to bring us together. We're going to work as a team. We're going to overcome. And then you're the underdog. And the U.S. has thrived on being the underdog, right? They have, they went to the quarterfinals in 2002. They beat Mexico, 2-0. They made it to the knockout rounds in 2010 and 2014 and 2022. And there's some good results against England in there. And England's always been a better team than the U.S., but it's just, I don't know. And then you overturn the suspension, or you suspend the suspension, and the U.S. just played flat.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of circus that was going on with this game here. And not to mention as well that it was, by definition, Monday Night Football in Seattle. So we knew that something was going to happen. And, well, what happened was, in fact, just sad.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, fellas, who's next?
I'll go next.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, my bad. 3, 2, 1.
If you have not tried recently to go out and just be athletic, try. Just go ahead and try. One of my things that I've been doing a lot of, and I've talked about this a lot, has been playing baseball, playing golf, doing these things that get me out of the house, get me going and using my body. This weekend was the perfect encapsulation of that. Friday night baseball game. Saturday morning, playing a round of golf for a tournament. Sunday morning, baseball game. And was I sore as heck after all of it? Yeah. Did my body not want to work on Monday? Yeah. But did I enjoy every single moment of it? Yeah, I did. When you get out there, you could get those endorphins running and you find something that you truly love, because baseball has always been my first true love. Just always has been, always will be. But there's very few feelings that you get when making a putout, like in a game, whether it be it's like a ground ball that you throw over to first, or a pop fly catch that you make, or striking someone out even. There are very few feelings that feel honestly as quenching as that does. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about here, go out and try it. Like, go out, practice taking grounders. When you field that first one cleanly and make a strong throw across the infield, you'll know what I'm talking about. You will understand that feeling of you just accomplished something. You just did something that felt good for you and looked good out there on the field. If you're out there and you want to try golfing, cool. Go try a driving range first. Like, usually pretty inexpensive, and you can just go and swing your clubs a lot. And then from there, then you can work on, chipping, work on other kinds of shots, getting more consistent with your shots. The main thing, though, is to just try. Like, that's the main thing that holds a lot of people back, is I don't think I'm going to be good enough for it. Who cares? Go out there and have fun. Here, we have a player that's been coming to the games here that about 3 weeks ago was his very first time ever playing baseball. But he came on a whim. Thought, like, you know what? This would be fun. He had very little skill. He was fast. He was strong, but he could not swing the bat. He could not throw the ball. Last week, he hit a double into left center field here and made a great play at third base, stopping a ball that was hit legitimately probably over 80 miles an hour, which for a non-professional is pretty darn good. Just go out and try. Go have fun. If you don't do well, who cares? You'll try again later. You'll eventually get it. and you're not always going to succeed. If you're watching a baseball podcast, you're used to not succeeding like 8 times out of 10. Like, again, remember, an elite baseball hitter succeeds 30% of the time. A 300 batter gets a hit 3 times out of 10 at-bats. Just remember that. So if you go and play baseball and you hit a ground ball to the shortstop, cool. Ty France just did the same thing a little bit ago. Julio just did the same thing. That doesn't mean they're not bad baseball players. Just takes a little bit of time. But the key thing to do is to just keep trying.
Yeah, as a wise man once said, do or do not, there is no try.
That was a wise quote. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you go up and you bat 1,000. I mean, I think I can't remember the number. I think in backyard baseball with Ichiro, I batted like 890 once.
Nice.
Even that's not 1,000. I'll tell you one thing. In my baseball career, I definitely did not bat 1,000.
I was always a good on base percentage guy.
Yeah, no, I knew how to work. I knew how to draw a walk. It's just the everything else, the hitting the ball past the infield wasn't always there. There were a couple, I had a few where I got a few extra base hits in my time, but I'd be lying if I said I was a 300 hitter in Little League.
I mean, I'd be lying too. But that's because I was a 600 hitter in Little League.
Okay.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I do have a question I want to run by you guys while Mac is preparing. Who do you think has the most games with a 1,000 batting average? Just who do you think?
Yerman Mercedes. I don't know.
The GOAT.
Honestly, Yerman's a good answer for that. I'm gonna go Ishiro.
All right, Mac, you can go ahead. I'm letting StreamYard, letting StatHead do its thing. If you want to go ahead.
All right, ready?
Yes. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. So something cool, I guess, last week that happened when I was coaching. I had a new swimmer who told me that she was encouraged to sign up. She had spoken to my sister. She was encouraged to sign up to be on the Masters team, and she told me that she had been swimming for most of her life, but had never really paid attention to technique or anything like that. So I've worked extensively with her, just doing like 2 days. And it feels like it's the first time in a while I've had someone directly tell me that I've like helped her or helped them a lot with their swimming. So yeah, it's really cool seeing people progress like that. Sort of like what Alex was saying about his teammate who'd never played baseball before. This woman hadn't really received technical advice ever in her with swimming, and so I was like the first person she asked about it, and it's really cool just seeing a first timer sort of interact with the other teammates too. I know on Monday night she was asking other people for technical advice too, not just the coach. She wanted she was sort of behind everyone on trying to finish the workout, but she wanted to stay and finish the rest of it. So it's just really cool seeing progress like that. And yeah, it's nice when you can be asked for for advice and stuff, and people actually take it and listen. So yeah, just something cool that happened in the past week, and looking forward. I mean, she even asked me if it's a problem if she asked me questions or anything, and no, I said no, it's definitely not a problem at all. So keep coming back and you'll keep improving.
This just keeps going to show the worst thing that you can do is stop.
Exactly.
Like when you're trying to learn something and trying to get better at something, the worst thing you can do is give up.
I agree.
Absolutely. By the way, the record holder is Lenny Harris, 231 games.
Oh, wow. Wait, what? How's it possible? A 1,000 batting average?
Yeah, 231 games. A lot of pinch hitting.
Okay, because he was a pinch hitting extraordinaire. So
yes. He did have a couple. He had a 4 for 4, a couple 3 for 3s, a couple 2 for 2s, but a lot of 1 for 1s.
How many plate appearances was that?
What? His all 200 plus of them?
Or his how many plate appearances spanned the 231 games?
Oh, probably 300. Maybe
okay.
not quite 300, but
That's
yeah, most
insane. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
most of them are one plate appearance. So by my count, like 200 of them are one plate appearance, 9 of them are 2 plate appearances, 3 are 3, and then 1's 4. So yeah, fun times.
Yep.
The active leader, I don't know. Stathead is confusing me. All right, fellas, it was a wonderful time with you. Besides besides breaking down the U.S. losing, but other than that, it was great. All-star conversation, home run derby conversation. We talked about the Mets a little bit. Good job, Mac. Hey, they had the game of the year might be 5th against the Braves. Braves Mets. That was just
It was
tremendous
pretty
back
cool.
and forth. Yeah, it's like a 4.5-hour game. So, anyways, for all 3 of us, you can follow me at Mr. Splashman19 on Twitter. You can follow Alex at the Sports Guy 242. You can follow Mac at Mathias_A_K. You can follow our graphic designer. Yeah, it's a struggle. You can follow all of us together at LAR_baseball. Make sure you drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the stream. If you are on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, tell a friend, tell someone on the street, walk down and say, hi, I'm listening to a podcast. Follow the podcast. That would be appreciated. Follow us on Instagram as well. Yeah, thank you. And hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful random week in July. It's one of those days. Toodles.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! It's a home run!